Today, more than almost any other time in human history, the world is being polarized between two very different worldviews: universalism versus particularism. Universalism is the philosophy of the left, of inclusiveness. It tends to manifest itself in progressive politics. Particularism is the philosophy of the right. It tends to manifest itself in politics like the Tea Party in the United States. Universalism is top-down. Universalism preaches big government, taking responsibility for fixing the problems of the world. Particularism is bottom-up, individual autonomy and rights and minimum government. And these two forces are fighting back and forth in the United States and in the world in general, in the political arena. What's the correct perspective? What does Judaism say about it? The reality is Judaism says there is room for both in history. The Jewish people, by the way, are both top-down and bottom-up. Judaism believes in personal autonomy, that the ultimate expression of being human being and godlike is to use your free will and to take responsibility. But Judaism also believes in taking responsibility from the world, top-down, fixing the world's problems. But how do you balance those two? And the answer is that's what the system of the Torah is all about. It's the rules for how to live as a human being, being balanced in our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. And the reality is this big problem in the world today is caused by the fact that the world has always, not just in this issue, but in many issues, vacillated from one extreme to the other because it lacks a role model in the middle to show the world how to balance itself. And that is the Jewish people's job, because the Jewish people are history's most universal particularists. When I say universal particularist, the Jewish people have always pushed a universal worldview, an idea of the whole human race united, but united under God. Particularist in that the Jewish people are supposed to do this not at the expense of their identity, but by preserving their Jewish identity as a role model. But that requires the Jewish people to be balanced, because when Jews become too universalistic, they tend to leave their Judaism behind and become Jews for every ism except Judaism, which explains why the vast majority of causes in this world are either founded or run by Jews. Yet these Jews are often lost to the Jewish people. When Jews become too particularistic, they tend to self-ghettoize and isolate themselves and forget their responsibility for the rest of the world. So the job begins, first of all, with the Jewish people becoming balanced, themselves recognizing that while they have a responsibility to preserve their own unique identity, which much of Jewish law is about, laws about keeping kosher and Shabbat, are designed to keep the Jewish people on a certain level a separate people. Yet the Jewish people are never supposed to forget they have a responsibility for the rest of the world. The Jewish people are a nation that dwells alone, but a nation that recognizes that they have a unique responsibility to be a light to nations and a role model for the rest of the world. I'm Ken Spiro, and you're watching JTV.
To stay up to date with JTV content, click subscribe here if you're on YouTube and hit the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button, and under following, click see first. If you enjoy watching JTV content and want to help us continue to grow, please consider making a donation to us by clicking here.